Pink Cougar VTuber. Nice to meet you. Today, we are watching the most embarrassing moments in gaming journalism by MagicMush. I'm not into gaming journalism, so I'm completely at this guy's mercy. So let's see what he has prepared for me.
Who wants to hear a really funny joke? Gaming journalism.
Kick! All I know is like the Cuphead video.
I think a lot of people have slowly realized over the years, gaming journalism is in dire straits.
Sonic was never good.
For some strange
shut up.
reason, journalism, specifically about the gaming industry, seems to have people in it who know next to nothing about video games. Some
They're journalists,
act like
not gamers.
they've never touched a video game in their life, even though that's, you know, their job.
Yeah, I hate that.
New Super Mario Bros. Wii is a tough game, old school tough, so you better bring your butt-stomping A-game, as this will test even the most seasoned platforming veterans.
Which begs the question, did these people really want to be game journalists in the first place? Or was this their only shot at getting in the journalism industry in general?
Probably.
It really
I have a
seems
feeling it's like that.
It would be the easiest job in the world. Play
Yes.
video games, go to gaming conventions.
Betrayal!
What?
Betrayal! Betrayed me! This game sucks!
Write about them, talk about them. That
I
is
forgot
like
about that clip.
a dream job. So why is this so hard?
Oh, the
Why
classic.
do so many
The
games
classic.
journalists completely drop the ball when it comes to games journalism. There are a multitude of theories, speculations, and attempted explanations, but none of those are concrete. The fact of the matter is, games journalists cannot stop embarrassing themselves. So
Yeah.
why don't I tell you all about my favorite moments of embarrassment from gaming journalists? These are the most embarrassing moments in gaming journalism.
Oh my god, time for some cringe. Let's see. I only know about Gamergate and the Cuphead thing.
God Hand was a PS2 game released in 2006, published by Capcom and made by Clover Studio. Directed by Shinji Mikami of Resident Evil fame, God Hand is an over-the-top action game, and by over-the-top, I mean...
You're punching demons in the cock.
This game is crazy. If you have not played this game before, I suggest after this video is over, go seek out a means to play it. It is a one-of-a-kind experience. Every person that I've talked to that's played it loves it. Well, except for one person. Out of all IGN reviews, many of them have been dunked and memed on. There's the well-known Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire review, where they said it had too much water.
Too much water.
And it got memed to hell and back because it sounded so ridiculous. But there is one
Yo, the too much water thing is literally perfect clickbait, perfect rage bait. It doesn't hurt anyone. It's fucking Nintendo, so who gives a shit? People are still gonna buy the game. Like, bro, too much water.
They will never live down.
Nobody
And that
forgot
would be
it.
The infamous God Hand review. The reviewer gave the game a 3 out of 10, calling it awful. His main criticisms are, the game is boring, it's frustrating, and annoying. That sounds fair enough, at first. But when you really read through it, it becomes very obvious. He was just really bad at the game. He boils down the combat to just mashing buttons, when God Hand lets you do crazy stuff like this. He then complains he had barely any health going from stage to stage, and this made the game incredibly frustrating. When you put 2 and 2 together, you realize this man was most likely mashing buttons throughout the entire game, was getting his ass whooped, and blamed the game when he kept dying. And some of the info is just flat out contradictory. He claims the enemies were bland and generic, while in the very next paragraph talks about demons that will respawn from fallen enemies, which is something I don't think a lot of games do.
No, not a lot of them do that.
Generic, would it? Oh, and by the way, did I mention that God Hand has a boss fight like this in it?
Oh my god, what?
Cardan Wild Joker! One hard gangsta diamond! You can find me at the club! Have your pet neutered or spayed! Ow, 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 ow! I'm hurt! I mean hurt! Together we're... Magnifique!
Why are you not playing this game yet? So yes, too long didn't read. He's bad at the game. He just didn't get it. 3 out of 10. After this review was made, it's probably one of the earliest examples of people taking the piss out of a professional game website. A lot of people were mocking this dude, and this made him lash out on the forums.
Ooh.
Godhand came and went, but this review did not. For years, this review became the butt of jokes. Anytime a bad game or literal shovelware got a high score on IGN, it was compared to Godhand. Imagine Party Babies is better than Godhand. Even
What?
IGN.
How is Imagine Party Babies got a 7.5? That game is unplayable. What?
Is aware of all the crap this review got. They even made a whole video defending Godhand and explaining how good it actually is a few years ago.
My name is Mitchell Saltzman. I work at IGN, and I'd like to say that Godhand, a game that IGN dubbed awful 13 years ago, is in my opinion not just good, it's actually
Jesus.
When the website you work for is debunking your review over a decade later, that's got to be pretty embarrassing.
Oh, Kotaku, don't.
Kotaku has some of the worst articles on gaming
I can feel the cringe going up my butthole.
I've ever seen. They screw up this job more than any other website on this video. There are a slew of articles I could have used for this video. There's the PS5 review where the viewer says he can't enjoy the PS5 because of the state of the world around them. Well, I'm sorry for you, buddy, but that's something for your therapist and not people wanting a review of a game console.
Why are fucking journalists like trauma dumping on their like articles? What?
But the one I'm going for is from their UK division.
Britain is so interesting. Persona. I've never played Persona. Never caught my attention. Wow!
Smash Bros. Ultimate got its first DLC character with Joker from Persona 5, but along with Joker came with a bunch of songs for the Persona series. One of the songs being from Persona 5 called Wake Up, Get Out There. Pretty catchy song with some nice lyrics. One journalist at Kotaku UK did not think so highly of it. Shortly after the Joker DLC came out, a hit piece from Kotaku UK came out called Smash Bros. Ultimate's Persona 5 DLC contains a disability slur.
What?
At around 1 minute 57 seconds, the term retarded is used, followed by the assertion, I can say it. This is the clip in question they're talking about.
Ready to pick up pieces. Let's go. Let's play retarded.
Now, I will give the writer this. It does sound like it at a passing listen, but when you really think about it, it doesn't make much sense being in the song. Why is your first response to write a hit piece on it? When you listen to the song, you can tell the person who's singing is very obviously from Japan, and Japanese was their first language, not English. So there's a lot of English in here.
English,
she's still trying to sing in a language she's not native in. So why do you immediately go for the worst assumption possible instead of thinking maybe you misheard something? This article was a joke, and
oh my
a ton of
God!
different places laughed at it.
Short hair! What the fuck?
They say retarded in this song is 0%. It doesn't even make any fucking sense. Let's
get it started.
When has that ever been uttered in the history of humanity?
Let's get started.
Realizing they could potentially be wrong, they started editing it to include disclaimers that it might not actually be the word. But then Nintendo and Atlas came out and said, no, the song does not include that word. So it made Kotaku and the writer look like complete fools, which they were. They eventually released a statement apologizing and throwing the writer under the bus, and then the writer threw them under the bus. They would later delete the article,
my God.
and a month after everything blew over, the writer announced they were leaving Kotaku UK to focus on
Homeboy got fired for making clickbait.
their own projects.
You can't tell me that is your profile picture! No! this is the most Kotaku. Your entire fucking name is Kotaku. Your icon is Kotaku, bro.
While she didn't say the article was a factor for the departure or not, the timing is a bit too coincidental for it to not have been a factor. Mishearing a song lyric, having become the punching bag for a week, and having an article you wrote get deleted, and then leave.
You can't hire people who used to be neck deep on Tumblr. Stop
In
it.
the company a month later, that's really
That's coming from
embarrassing.
someone who used to be neck deep on Tumblr. Do I look employed to you?
Probably the most infamous thing Polygon has ever
Patas.
done was the Doom 2016 gameplay video, where the guy playing it acts like he has never touched a video game in his life.
Has this man ever touched a computer? Oh. Yo, I am fucking embarrassing at Doom. I am dead ass embarrassing when it comes to first person shooters. Fucking, I can't bring myself to stream them because I'm so bad at them, right? But this actually made me feel bad. This feels like my grandma's like testing the computer. Are they playing on a controller? Like, this really feels like they're playing on a fucking controller. You don't play FPS on a controller. If you do, I'm sorry for you. Oh, it feels like they're playing a controller.
Probably has better aim than the guy playing right now. But everyone knows about this incident. I'm going to be talking about one that's largely forgotten about. Their Bayonetta 2 review. Bayonetta was always Devil May Cry but with boobs.
Yeah,
Let's rock, baby.
I want to play Devil May Cry so bad. The characters are so hot.
That's what the entire series has
They're
always
all
been.
so fucking hot. Like, they make me so
Hideo
horny.
Loves women and the way women look, and he got a character designer who is also a woman to design the character he wanted. So you got an action game with a
I honestly want Lunaria to look a little bit more like Bayonetta.
sexy witch, because that's what Kamiya wanted, and that's what Kamiya got. When it comes to Polygon's review, they spend only a few paragraphs talking about the gameplay itself. It seems mostly positive and says it does a lot of things better than the original. But that doesn't matter, because 2/3 of it are complaining about the fact the game shows off Bayonetta's assets too much. The game was made by a guy who likes boobs in action. The game is made for guys who like boobs in action, and they have the right to enjoy those if they please. And the entire review is basically trashing the audience this game is intended for.
This is
He
clickbait.
calls it cheap and pandering. He even docks points from the final score because of it, even though he flat out said it did things better than the original.
Huh.
Like, if you don't like games with cheap boob and ass shots, that's fine. But that begs the question, why the hell are you reviewing a game that was made purposely for that? Like, look at this box art. Look at it. What
The center of the box art is an ass,
the
bro.
hell were you expecting?
I wouldn't mind tasting it.
Oh man, I sure hope this movie called Saw certainly doesn't have any blood or violence in it. Arthur
Yeah.
Gates was the reviewer of Bayo 2 here, and he looks like he just got off recording for some 2000s new metal band. A lot of people complained about this review back then, but it's since fallen into obscurity because, well, other things would take center stage in years to come. People do bring it up time to time, and Arthur still doubles down whenever
Oh my god, that was me. I didn't say it was awful, but appreciate the knee-jerk consideration. Sex positivity does not mean all things with sex are positive and are to be viewed critically. Oops, I forgot you understand this better than I do.
it's brought up. Having to constantly defend your nearly 10-year-old review from criticism, well, that's kind of embarrassing.
That reviewer either is a white knight or a cock lover, which I understand. If you don't like Bayonetta, you can just like a Devil May Cry. Like, that's a lot of cock bouncing. Honestly, is there, I don't know, boob physics for Devil May Cry? Because I'm pretty sure somebody would mod that shit in.
Embarrassing. The PlayStation Vita was a great handheld system.
Oh, the Weeb console.
It was sleek, powerful, had a nice screen, and had a lot of good games. The
Oh,
issue is,
weeb
it
shit.
was released into a sea of hot competition by a company that didn't seem to care about it. But it still has its fans.
Hands up. I see. You know a girl named Nora? Sure, yeah. Where is she? In the hospital. Where in the hospital? Yeah, they're clearing out the upper floors. She's somewhere in there.
Damn.
And one of those fans worked at IGN. Colin Moriarty is a huge PlayStation fan. No, actually, he's a slobbering PlayStation fanboy. And he, like most fanboys, had a sense of superiority to their competitors. And he was going to express this in a...
Being a fanboy completely fucking obliterates the validity of your opinion. Sure, I personally prefer PC games nowadays. Why? Because PC gaming allows me to pirate my shit so I can test it. And also PC gaming, I don't know, I can mod it. It gives me the freedom I wish because that's what I prefer. But I'm not gonna shit on someone because they prefer having a PlayStation. I'm not gonna shit on anyone. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, if the PC market starts being shit, I'm gonna fucking drift to whatever is nicer to the fucking consumer. Right? So if you're fucking, like, fanboying over a company that doesn't give, like, a quarter of a shit about you, then you're kind of a loser. Don't bother. You know who was a console fanboy? Chris Chan. You want to be like Chris Chan? Don't do that.
The PC wrote about the
Don't fuck your mom.
The PlayStation Vita is set to succeed.
No.
Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting a console you're a fan of to succeed, but this article is more than that. This entire article is pure fanboyism at its finest. If he just wanted to gush about the Vita, that would have been fine. But of course, he had to compare it to the 3DS. He said the Vita was superior to the 3DS. I mean, hardware-wise, sure, but not just in hardware, in every aspect.
Yo, the fucking PS Vita, like, roster of games is very limited. Most of the games that came out that are actually worth it were mostly just locked into, like, the Japanese market for, like, the longest fucking time. Like, I had to, like, read a something awful fucking thread to understand the Danganronpa fucking translations, because I loved Danganronpa before it got translated. Like, I am in pain. I don't know how I fucking even got into Danganronpa, man. I was reading some random ass guy just translate shit on a fucking disgusting fucking forum. Like, the PS Vita is clearly for weebs and, like, older people. And we're talking about the 3DS, which is a monster. You're dealing with monsters here, bro. They're completely different approaches to, like, console gaming. Like, portable console gaming. I'm so sad that's dead. I'm so sad that the console market died. Like, when it comes to portability because of the phones. And honestly, I gotta fix my 3DS. I got two 3DSs. I got a new 2DS, and I got an old 3DS XL. One of them is decapitated because I dropped it when I was having sex, and the other one is I don't know. The other one just doesn't boot. I don't know why it's not working. And I want to fix them so bad because I'm so tired of, like, playing shit on my phone. I want my phone to, like, play games every now and then when I'm bored, and use Twitter and watch porn. Like, I'm not gonna, like, sit down and enjoy an actual fucking gaming experience on my phone. It's not for that.
The library, the brand itself, and flat out said the Vita was destined to sell more than the 3DS. And let me remind you, this is for a handheld that had not been released yet. He even flat out says the 3DS is of no concern to Sony. Nintendo isn't even competition to them. The real competition is smartphones. But he says that after he spent most of the article saying how the 3DS is lesser to it, calling the 3DS library Nintendo 64 games and worn out, tired game series. This is one of the most fanboyish,
this is blind,
insecure console warring articles I have ever seen.
This is blind. This is kind of sad, actually.
The PS Vita wasn't set to succeed. In fact, it did pretty bad on the market, especially to the 3DS, which also struggled, but still managed to sell 75 million units, while the Vita only sold around 15 million. The market spoke, and the Vita wasn't going to beat the 3DS. Sorry, Colin, but as long as Pokemon exists, the Vita didn't stand
People
a
are gonna buy it. Yeah.
Colin will let her leave IGN a few
Pokemon
years
is keeping
later
these
to go on
things
his own
alive.
path. But having this stain of an article still up as a reminder of how much you worship the ground PlayStation walks is incredibly embarrassing.
Alien Resurrection review. What?
Putting this review in here because I actually feel really bad for the guy who wrote this, but it's still a funny story, so I decided to include it anyway.
Okay, I've never seen this one. Alien Resurrection. What the fuck is this? Oh, people are pretty. Oh no. Uh-oh. What's this? It looks very PS1,
Alien
yeah.
Resurrection was a movie made in 1997 and was the 4th film in the Alien franchise.
Isn't this the kind of me?
It's a fun popcorn movie, nothing else. But being a late 90s blockbuster film, it of course got a game tie-in that was delayed for years and years until it finally came out in the year 2000. The game got middling scores all across the board and is mostly forgotten these days, seeing as it, well, came 3 years after the movie. There was one review on it, though, that while back then wasn't much, today is pretty funny to look at. The GameSpot review, where the reviewer gave it a 4 out of 10, which sort of makes sense for the middling review score. But what is the reason for the 4 out of 10, you may ask? Well, the reviewer's main criticism was the controls. And what were the controls on this game like? Well, in the reviewer's own words, the game's control setup is its most terrifying element. The left analog stick moves you forward, back, and strafes right and left, while the right analog stick turns you and can be used to look up and down. Too often, you'll turn to face a foe and find that your weapon is aimed at the floor or ceiling, while the alien gleefully hacks away at your midsection. Now, does that sound familiar to you? Well, it should, because that is the control scheme for every single console shooter used to this day.
Yeah, he should have worded that better. I understand what what he means by that, what he's saying, but like you literally just described a controller. The wording is so bad. No, I mean, if you push the joystick forward, it makes you go forward, and if you go left and right, you strafe left and right. Like, bro. He should have worded it better. Like, the controllers are tank controls, and that's a little, and it's oversensitive, so it's very hard to aim. He should have said that. That would have been completely valid, but he describes a controller working as a controller.
Hey. Yes, this game was one of the first games to use the dual analog setup everything uses now. It was a pioneer, and this reviewer hated the game for it. It's funny to laugh at it now, but you have to remember, back in 2000, a controller with 2 analog sticks was still a new thing, and controlling the game with 2 analog sticks was something never really done. Even a few years into the PS2's life, you still had games using the L and R buttons to control the camera. It was too hard to shift away from what people were used to. So, this review was just kind of suffering from growing pains. The way we control games were changing, and this reviewer could not adapt. It's not really his fault, but it kind of is. Trashing a game for its control scheme that would later become the industry standard is something he could have never predicted, but in the end, it's still embarrassing.
The game isn't even good. Like, he could have gotten away with it if he fucking described it better.
From the creators of Hitman comes Kane and Lynch.
What is
Kane
this?
Dead Man was a game released in 2007, and it was set to be huge. A big, next-gen AAA game that was also a new IP. This game was hyped up quite a bit back in the day. Every place was talking about
Never heard
it
of
and
it.
making a huge deal
What
about
is
it.
this?
And when the game finally came out, like, it got middling review scores across the board. It wasn't a game changer.
It sounded like
but
a
was
turtle
fine.
having sex, bro.
That seemed to be the consensus. GameSpot was one of the websites hyping the game up to hell and back. You could not go anywhere on their site without seeing an advertisement for
Turtle
the game.
sex, yeah.
They were telling you to buy it right there and right
I think
now.
it wanted to be Payday.
To review the game, Jeff Gertzman on the staff was ready and able, and the score he gave it, 6 out of 10. So yeah, about what every other site was saying about it. But this was a special case because GameSpot was very obviously taking handouts from the game's publisher, and once they saw Jeff gave the game a fair and honest review and not a 9 or 10 out of 10 masterpiece buy it now, they threatened to pull their money. This led to GameSpot putting a lot of pressure on Jeff, who stood his ground and refused to back off. This would lead to GameSpot pulling his review and firing him because he wasn't trustworthy enough.
Oh my
Jeff would later go on to form his own game website, Giant Bomb, so he could keep being an honest game reviewer. But this incident is more substantial than you think. This man was
Kudos to
fired
him.
because he was being honest. He wasn't trying
He was
to
being
butter
good at his
people up, but
job.
he was honest with the people who were listening.
He was being good at his
told
job.
everyone, the game is all right, and he was fired for that. This basically proved what many thought was happening in gaming journalism. It was very possible for the publishers and companies to butter the review websites up with some cold hard cash to sway review scores. This is exactly what happened. With all the advertising for the game, only to be given an average review score, the reviewer was then fired. That basically put huge doubt on any games journalism website. This can happen to any of them. And making everyone start to doubt games journalism in general is extremely embarrassing. This puts a nice bow on everything. The fact of the matter is, it all comes down to money in the end. Money makes the world go round. Integrity and honesty be damned. Whatever makes...
That's why nowadays you're obligated to say this is sponsored by blank or hashtag ad, because you gotta like tell people, hey, I got paid to say this.
Makes me the most green is what matters most. That is what has been the main goal for a long time. In the gaming industry, in the games journalism industry, in any industry. And that probably will be the main goal for as far as the eye can see.
Duh.
Remember, kids, the only opinion you can truly trust is your own. And
Your
no
own, yeah.
one can take that away from you. God bless, like and subscribe, and good night.
Like and subscribe! I'm gonna like and subscribe. Thanks. Oh, my fucking browser is frozen. Hello? Oh, there we go. Like and subscribe. I answered with this! Cans Luna 20, say the thing! This video is sponsored by Raid Wiener Legends! I actually kind of miss Raid Shadow Legends. The payout was fucking incredible. This is probably the biggest sponsor I've ever had. Oh! He did it! Yay! He did it! Congratulations! Oh my gosh. Yeah. Thank you for coming over, and come to my Twitch, twitch.tv/Lunaria if you want to come and watch videos with me. Thank you for watching. Bye!